What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the Empire. So the Mandalorian finale drops tomorrow, and I wanted to make a final theory about who I think the spies from Chapter 23 are. And I'm pretty confident that I can convince you all as well. I don't think there's only one or two spies, but multiple of them. And the episode title is just referencing all the different spies within the episode. The first spy we've already been aware of for a while is Elia Kane, who infiltrated the New Republic and is secretly working with Moff Gideon by feeding him information and mind-wiping Doctor Pershing. We were all aware of her from the get-go because she was just super sketchy to begin with, but she's only one of the many spies shown. Now, the episode did make it seem like one of the spies would be a Mandalorian just based on how most of them were conveniently gone when Moff Gideon sprung his trap. But I also think that might be too easy to deduce. We can't leave them out though because there's always the possibility that it is one of them. The first was the Armorer. She left the group much sooner, bringing the wounded Mandalorian back to the fleet. There's been a lot of speculation that she's actually Rook Kast, a former member of Death Watch that worked alongside Darth Maul and became one of the Mandalorians, which explains the spikes on her helmet. We also see Gideon wearing his Mandalorian armor that could have been created by the Armorer, aka Rook Kast. Next we have Axe Wolves, who left in the middle of the ambush to get help and managed to escape with very little resistance from the Imperial Super Commandos. It could be that he actually was just going to get help, but I don't see how he could. There was no way to signal the fleet from the ground level, and he wouldn't be able to fly through the storm to reach the fleet, so where was he going to get reinforcements from? Axe Wolves doesn't seem like the type of character that would flee from a fight, so I don't see why he would leave to get reinforcements when there are none to contact. Last, for the Mandalorians, we have the new group of Mandalorians that was shown on the planet. We don't know much about them, but they've been on the planet long enough that it seems very likely that they would know of an underground Imperial base. They even led the group straight to Moff Gideon, so how could they not be working with him in exchange for something? I believe Moff Gideon made a deal with them after finding out there were surviving Mandalorians on the planet. He manipulated them into believing Bo-Katan had sold the Mandalorians out, which led to the planet's destruction. So there would kind of be some resentment towards her. So when these new Mandalorians find Bo-Katan, they lead her straight to Moff Gideon's base. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of clues showing how it could be many different Mandalorians, but honestly, I don't think it's any of them. This whole season has been about uniting them and taking back Mandalore, a common goal they all share. It's very possible, as we've seen Mandalorian betray their kind before, but I think this was just all to throw us off from who the real spies of this episode were. And those real spies being from the Shadow Council we see at the beginning of the episode, and they are Commandant Hux and Captain Pellaeon, who are working with Grand Admiral Thrawn and feeding him information about Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon wants to be in charge and is very hesitant about Thrawn's return, and with Thrawn not around, he sees this as an opportunity to take control. When Gideon suggests looking to a new leadership due to Thrawn's absence, the rest of the Shadow Council is in agreement besides Hux and Pellaeon. I think Thrawn will appear in the season finale as a tease for the Ahsoka series, but I don't think he will intervene with Moff Gideon's plan. He will watch and wait for him to play his entire hand. He might even suspect that the Mandalorians will deal with Gideon themselves, so he won't be a problem for long. I don't think he will fully emerge from hiding even with Gideon out of the way. Thrawn is most likely waiting for the right opportunity to make himself known, so he will remain in the shadows until the Ahsoka series. Thrawn is very smart and knows how the game works, so there's no way he'd play his hand too early, and we'll kind of just wait and see what happens. But I think the real spies of this episode were Commandant Hux and Captain Pellaeon. What do you guys think? Let me know down below, and I hope to see you all again in the next one. May the Force be with you, my friends.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. You're not a Jedi.